Great seeing so many people already here. You know, this last Pope was signifying judgment. Last Pope is signifying judgment. And judgment is here for you other nations. I'm going to play a little Father Indigo, Big Dog right now. We're waiting for people to come on in before we get started. But it's funny how all these other people now are having to try to come and beg us so-called Negroes to come and play in their playground. All of a sudden, all of these Edomite systems are being exposed and showing you how they need our approval. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. So let me play a little Father Indigo while we're waiting. Great seeing you, sister. Great seeing all the moderators. Thank you.
Time for dedication. Uniting all the nations. Make a busted out for patience. Cooking peace and having aprons. Angelic in my cadence. These causes separations. Feeling like moving blatant. Where from God been waiting. Initiating stations. Periods, rising vibrations. Open up your heart to my love right now. Hard is too late. Time to bring my crown. Don't believe it's water, non-believers must drown. Don't need a Bentley cause my tribe was bound. Been hated on since the king touched down. Everything you owe us, you must bring us now. Big God. the highway. Ever rockin', yachty. Found Christ, no TDJs. On coon, can't see a face. Our DNA can't create a race. White Jesus, we replace. With V, can't eat a steak. With my people, hey. This ain't planned, what's good down, Aboriginal, Swedish royalty, celestial. Big dog, big
Grand Rising. Say all praises to the Most High. Great acknowledgement to our earthly mother, the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Acknowledgement to the ancestors. Today is the day of our Archangel Cassiel. It's the day of Saturn. And there's many great things that our Archangel Cassiel will do for us when you come to our Archangel. Today is he's like the speed of the Most High. And I pray that he speeds up this time of our return, our redemption. And it's a beautiful time. Because the Catholic Church has been proven to have no power. This pick, because someone's like, oh, I thought they weren't going to have any more popes after this. I was like, it said judgment comes after Francis. See, people think of everything has to be like, oh, like this, like this. They think it's a 2-hour Left Behind movie. And they seem to think that, everything has to wrap up just like, hey, man, it's a 2-hour movie. It's all that it is. It's got to hurry up and finish up. Everything, all of the nuclear weapons got to be shot over here to America and destroy everything. Because that's how Caesarea, that's how the people who, do Caesarea, who worship him, these Edomites, as well as all these Blasphos, they don't have any depth. Everything is very, very superficial. It said, after Francis comes judgment. Your guys' pick of this Pope shows you that your churches have no power. It's plain to see. You picked a dude who, I was listening to Brother Big Levi's video last night talking about that. I'm gonna play some of it because it was like, well, is he white? Is he French? Is he Spanish? Is he Haitian? Is he, what is it? Creole? Creole's a language. Is he, I saw this earlier, he said he's American and Peruvian. I'm like, so you guys just throw somebody out there who we can just throw anything behind. And I saw all these videos yesterday. Oh, he's got some color in him. Oh, he's got some spice in him. Oh, he's one of our people. I was like, how many times are they going to do the exact same thing and all these idiots are going to fall for it? All of these idiot people, because look, those Blassels want you guys to recognize them. Those Blassels, those black vassals, are you the ones you've set up so that they will act like they're accepting anything that you got, any bone you guys want to throw, the Blassels will accept. And then you'll say, oh, pick a pope, I like that one. Oh, well, look, I mean, he's got some black in him, so he's our people. We got to accept him. We got to back him. This shows you how desperate the church is. The church has never given a rat's ass about Negroes. They have never cared about Negroes. They have only hated us. But on your last pope after Francis, that's your big selling point. Oh, he got some Creole in him. Oh, he's part Haitian. Again, I didn't even get to the Haitian part of my last video because I didn't even hear about that part. All I heard was him taking the name of Leo, wanting to take the name of the king, the Judites here. But then also now he wants to be Haitian so he can take part of the priestlyhood of the Israelites. He's making sure he covers all his bases. He's a priest from the 12 tribes as well as the king from the 12 tribes. He's a pot of stew, right? That just shows you right there alone that you guys have no power. And you know that judgment is you can't just do whatever the hell you want to do and get away with it anymore. You know that you need to come to the Most High's people now. That power reigns with the 12 tribes. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Because see, for the last couple thousand years, they've never, ever picked someone that they could easily go back and find some Negro bloodlines. Even if they had it, they wouldn't be out here trying to taunt it. They wouldn't be out here trying to, push that out there. They'd be trying to hide all that. Right, Brother Moriel? Now they're on TikTok talking about black fatigue. So it's like, all of a sudden, you guys are like y'all wanting to be black. Y'all want to be invited to the cookout. Hold on quick. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they want. That's what they want, right? And even still, like, we're past it. That doesn't work for us anymore. Even if he even had some of our blood in him, he would have already turned his back on the people. He turned his back and he chose to go with the Catholic Church. If you have upward mobility in this system, that means you have turned your back on your people and went with the churches, went with Psalms 83. You want to know if he was a nigga, right? He was born in Chicago, right? He grew up in apartments, right? But when they started the whole New Deal and they made it so it was illegal for black people to get FHA loans and it was illegal for them to move out to the suburbs, did he stay in Chicago or did he go to the suburbs? Did his parents get a loan in the suburbs or were they stuck being redlined and forced to stay in Chicago? That dude went out to the suburbs, got a loan, was paying $42 a month for his mortgage, and they were all highly involved in the Catholic Church. So he'd already given up his card, his black card, if he even had one, when he got the FHA loans and when he moved out, and then he rose to power, okay, in their system. That means that he went ahead, that he got the blessing here. He received the blessing here. Yeah, right. He used to play Pope at age 6. I'm sure that entitled him to play with other little boys. If you know what I mean. He was already doing that then, because that's what we're going to talk about in a little bit, because that seems to be the whole MO. If you, hey, you want to be Pope? Hey, well, what does that entail? Well, you know, you get to be out here and be the vicar of Christ, but you also get to have that pontifical secret, so that whenever any of your fellow priests and cardinals are, you know, having, you know, their little escapades of little boys and little girls, you have to cover it up. Really? That doesn't sound very godly to me. Well, that's what we do here. So do you want to be Pope? Well, I guess, sure, no problem. That's exactly what's going on. But people are like, oh, well, this is a problem. He's gonna have to rectify. How can he rectify it? When within like a day, they're already bringing up this whole story about how he was covering for these priests in Chicago, covering for these priests in Peru, and he's been covering for priests this whole time. Yeah, good one, brother Sly. I like that. Entail. I like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's Israel for you. So that's it. You know, it's like we're not claiming that. He's not one of us. He's all yours. But this shows you that, look, the most powerful nation on the earth militarily, the nation with the strongest economy during the time they were getting ready to pick the president, was begging for our votes, begging for us to participate, begging for us to please pick a side, please pick Trump or pick Kamala, please participate. That showed you right then and there that they already knew that they needed us to give them power to rule over us. And then they lost that. That means then the judgment is on this place, because now you are living on a land that you don't have rights to anymore. So now, for their Pope, they're like, hey, we got to pick someone to try to get these black people, these Negroes, not just black people, these enlightened Negroes, to give us, you know, their power. So then they threw out some dude who they could try to talk about. He's Haitian, he's, you know, he's this, he's that, he's got some black in him. He's from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? He's Creole. And that's not going to work either. Putting out videos with a bunch of blastos out here who have no understanding is not going to work anymore. So that just confirmed that you have no power. Exactly like Obama. I don't care if he has Negro blood going through his veins. Is he part of the awakening? Is he part of the 12 tribes? Has he been awakened by the Most High? Or has he been just pretty much, you know, made his way up into this society? We all know the answer to that. His actions and the perks that he was able to receive shows that he's not one of our people. Because our people have not been receiving blessings. We have not been able to be moved up. You imagine if they elected me Pope? What the hell would be happening right now? I saw that he already said that Mary was God. I saw that. If they elected someone like myself, who actually has the real Holy Spirit, we'd be right over there opening up everything, exposing everything. But this guy doesn't expose anything. He does pretty much what all the popes do: hide, pontifical secret. That's what he's been doing. Exactly, right, Chris G? So let me play a little bit of this Pope Leo the 14th and the Catholic Church's sex scandal.
As long as we're talking about tough issues here, we can't ignore the church sex abuse situation. And you say there's some tangential, at least, contact with that on the part of the new pope?
Yeah, so there are advocacy groups for the survivors of clerical sexual abuse who have raised critical questions about the new pope's record. One involves a case from Chicago when he was the provincial superior in Chicago of a priest who had been accused of abuse and was placed under supervision in an Augustinian residence, which was actually located near a school. Now, this was before the U.S. bishops had standards saying that was inappropriate, but nevertheless, that's being looked at. And then there's other cases that date from the time he was the bishop of Chiclayo in Peru, cases that predate him, but he inherited them. And there have been critical questions raised about how he responded to them. Now, it should be said that those who know the new pope well have defended his record both in Chicago and in Peru vigorously. And I am sure that this is a conversation.
So people who knew him well were defending him? What does that mean? See, this is the whole thing now. All you people who go to these churches, who just look over this stuff, you're guilty. You are guilty. Because all you guys are all clapping, and there was all 50,000, 60,000 people in the square. They're all happy to see him. And so now you know that he's been covering for, sex addicts who've been having all their ways with all these little children. And you don't say a word about that. You don't think that you're going to be guilty for not standing up for truth, not standing up for what is right. You don't think that the Most High is going to hold you accountable for any of that. Guilty by association. Exactly. So I'm like, people who know him recently defend him vigorously. What the hell does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that he's not guilty. Because someone knows you and they defend you rigorously. What the hell is that? Can we do that when we go to court? Hey, my friend, I knew I ran those people over and I was drunk. But my friends, they know me and they vigorously say that, that's something I wouldn't do. Or is that something I wouldn't normally do? Can I get off on that? Can I get a not guilty plea on that? Come on now.
We're going to have, and it should be said that those who know the new pope well have defended his record both in Chicago and in Peru vigorously, and I am sure that this is a conversation we are going to have in the days to come. I will bet you, however, that this is an issue where Pope Leo the 14th is going to want to move quickly and aggressively because he understands two things. One, he understands there's been criticism of his record and he's going to need to put that to rest. And number two, especially as an American, he feels in his bones the way that this issue has been a cancer eating away at the Catholic Church for 25 years now. And he's going to feel a special
25 years? You guys have only been doing this to children for 25 years? You see what I'm saying? Like, you've been doing this for 2,000 years. You guys have been guilty of this. So you're trying to say you've only been doing this since the 2000s? Oh, because you've been pontifical secreting everything else before that. So now, you see what I'm saying? Like, but you guys are godly. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Obligation to be on top of it.
Right, and anecdotally, I know of many Catholics who no longer donate or tithe money because most Catholics will give 10% on Sunday in the collection basket. They no longer tithe to the Catholic Church because of this very issue. So it has become one people feel that the Church has not.
That's funny because I still see billions of you guys all participating. Billions of you sitting here still going out here and hundreds of millions of you guys going out here and like all crying because of this guy that they elected. Like, for what? For what? Right, Queen Mommy? We know your history. You can't hide this anymore. Oh, he's gonna want to tackle this quickly because of his record. His record sucks. His record is horrible. That has to be a prerequisite to be a pope. You have to have a horrible record with covering up for priests who rape children. That has to be a prerequisite for you even to get the job. I'm gonna play a couple more because it's like pretty ridiculous.
But while a lot of people are celebrating, he's had his fair share of controversies over the years. Let's start with his handling of child abuse cases. Leo served as a bishop in Peru for almost a decade, and during that time he was accused of mishandling sexual abuse allegations. This is an advocacy group called SNAP, the Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests. Now, a few years ago, 3 sisters came forward saying they were abused as minors by 2 priests in Leo's diocese back in 2007. SNAP accused Leo of basically looking the other way.
And what's crazy is this stuff is going on to like 2024. Like some of these cases you're gonna see, I think in this video right here, like some of the stuff was like being paid off like a few months ago. Like, are you serious? Like it was like December of 2024, like they made like another agreement. So it's like they already knew. I mean, oh, your Pope just went and opened up some portals. Hey, start paying him off. He's about to die. We're gonna need, hey, anybody here got some Negro, maybe some Negro blood in him? Oh, this guy, okay, well pay these people off so we can, you know, throw him out there. They already know. It wasn't like this stuff was like, oh, this stuff was 25 years ago. Come on now. This is why it's called judgment, because the Israelites are now awakened. We can see right through your BS, and we're gonna throw all of this out there. We're throwing all of it out there in the ether for the Most High and the Holy Spirit to take care of. And when those children die and you never actually made things right with them, they wait for you. They are waiting for you so that when you die, you get judged. That would be from the Apocalypse of Paul. And it was funny because some woman was on here, oh, the dead don't see anything. When they die, they don't see anything. I was like, see, this is what happens when you bring in that Christianity over here. You act like we just cease to exist when we die. Only people that want to come up with that kind of a doctrine are the ones who have been running around here killing and raping and destroying everyone. They're the ones that want to come up with that kind of, oh man, I killed so many people. I don't want to believe that they're up there in heaven waiting for me so that we can be judged together. So I can be judged for how I wronged these people. Oh, the dead, they don't know anything about what happened up here. Oh, really? I said, because, you know, when you go read the rich man and Lazarus, the rich man was well aware about his brothers and how they were living and wanted Lazarus sent back in order to be able to warn his brothers. So this is what happens when you go to church and you just listen to a doctrine that they tell you and you don't read for yourself. So let me continue. So like I said, the guy's like, oh, this, you know, so it wasn't just little boys, it's also young girls too. And he just blew it off. I'm gonna go back like 10 seconds.
Said he brushed off. Now, a few years ago, 3 sisters came forward saying they were abused as minors by 2 priests in Leo's diocese back in 2007. SNAP accused Leo of basically looking the other way. They said he brushed off the women's claims and failed to launch a full inquiry, which led to accusations of a cover-up. The diocese denied this, saying Leo met with the victims and forwarded the case to the Vatican. But the Vatican ended up dropping the case. Now let's go back even further to when Leo led the Augustinian order in Chicago. This is Father James Ray, a priest from Chicago who was accused of abusing minors in the 70s and 80s. Survivors said he used his position of authority and trust to exploit vulnerable children. Ray was eventually removed from the public ministry, but in 2000, Leo allowed him to live at a friary right near a Catholic primary school. He was under supervision, but the proximity and that judgment call raised serious questions. Then we've got his social views. Now, compared to his predecessor, Leo is quite conservative on social politics. He's spoken out against what he calls gender ideology, saying it threatens traditional family values. He's also claimed, direct quotes, that Western culture fosters sympathy for beliefs and practices that contradict the gospel, including the homosexual lifestyle and same-sex families. And, very consistent with the Catholic Church, Leo is against abortion and euthanasia, which he calls violations of human life, and he's also against women being ordained as priests. Now, obviously none of these views are radical for the Church, but if you were hoping for someone a bit more progressive like Pope Francis, you'll be disappointed. But Leo is progressive in other ways. He's very pro-immigration, particularly for those in need. He's praised migrants for their courage in seeking better lives and says the church should...
And the whole thing with pro-immigration, again, so you're pro people coming over here and taking dainties and programs that were meant for my people and giving them to other people. That's what you're talking about. Because that's what immigration has always been about. Immigration has not been about fairness to the Israelites. Immigration has been about letting everybody come over. Everybody receives the programs and the perks and the things, the money and the opportunities was given to everybody else except our people. Is that exactly what you got? But of course that's what they meant, because that's what the Catholic Church has all been set up for. That's what the whole Catholic Church has been about, taking things from the Israelites and giving it to everybody else, and then everybody worships their church. That is what you guys have been believing, okay? And you guys are all paid to ignore what you've done to our people. You're getting paid by the church to get things from the church, get money, get opportunities. They'll support you coming to other countries and take responsibility, take things that were promised to us, not responsibilities, but things that were promised to us, programs, money, whatever it was, 40 acres and a mule, everything else that was promised to us, they'll give it to everybody else, but you got to worship at their churches. And when their priests get caught doing whatever to your children, to daughters, sons, you don't say a damn word. That's all part of it as well. That's the ridiculousness of what's going on here. I'm gonna play a little bit of Brother Big Levi's video around the 30-minute mark, 28-minute mark, talking about them trying to figure out what the hell Leo is.
Chicago, just like they said Obama was from Chicago. What about Chicago? Chicago black people.
Yeah, it is funny, right? Obama was from Chicago. This guy's from Chicago. What is it about Chicago that they want to act like their black people that they support come from? Do it back a little bit.
7 Rain, a place called. They already claimed this dude, the Italian over there in Chicago. Hey, you can make this up. This guy is a black man from Chicago, just like they said Obama was from Chicago. What about Chicago? Chicago black people and stuff like that. The word Chicago is another word for black people. Okay, the Haitian men that built the city of Chicago. You see what those people are trying to do. Okay, in order for you to gain access to our land, you have to get the so-called the Levite to give you the blessing, and you have to get swagger jack the Judite for the king, for the kingship, for the rulership, and he ain't gonna work. And they are scrambling and doing this thing right here. Let me read this again. Louisiana Creole expert Jari Honora has traced Prévost ancestry to the black community of New Orleans. His maternal ancestors lived in the Crescent City before migrating to Chicago in early 20th century, Honora said. Okay, so her mother left, migrated with him in the earlys and stuff like that, going over there. So Leo 14 is not known to have publicly commented having African ancestry. Again, put the word African in there, which is part of a mixed heritage.
And that's what they say. Even if the brother said, well, we never talked about us being black. Oh, so now that it's convenient, now y'all throwing that out there. But the whole time, y'all are hiding any fact that you had any black blood in you. See what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm not black. Just like trying to throw out old girl Kamala. Oh, she's black now too. See, you're not seeing like a pattern? We got Obama, Blassel, he's black. Kamala, another Blassel, oh, she's black. Oh, the Pope, oh, got some black, he's black. When all of a sudden has it been so important to try to get the 13%, suppose that you call us, to go out here with you? When that's never, ever been the case. All right? They want to be us so bad. It's hilarious, right? I'm going to play a little more.
That also include French, Italian, and Spanish roots. Again, they have no idea. They don't know where to put this. Is he French? Is he Italian? Is he Spanish? Is he Peruvian? Is he American? Is he Haitian? Is he Dominican? They just try to do their best to hide and swindle and wiggle their way into this thing. According to the U.S. Census, Prévost's mother, the late Mildred Martinez, was the mixed-race daughter of...
Right? I mean, just saying, it's hilarious. I'm like, look at all the different things they're trying to say this dude is. Is he this? Is he that? Before, hey, I'm white. I'm white. Everybody's running away from being white. Do you not see that? Everyone is trying to run away from being white. Well, why is that? If what you've been doing is so pure and you've been so godly, then why are you trying to find all these different ways to try to slither your way in over here?
Is he Spanish? Is he Peruvian? Is he American? Is he Haitian? They have no idea. They don't know where to put this. Is he French? Is he Italian? Is he Spanish? Is he Peruvian? Is he American? Is he Haitian? Is he Dominican? They just try to do their best to hide and swindle and wiggle their way into this thing. According to the U.S. Census, Prévost's mother, the late Mildred Martinez, was the mixed-race daughter of a black property owners, the Haitian-born Joseph Martinez, and the New Orleans native Louise Baquier et Creole.
See, this is called this is why it's judgment, people. Because, see, for the last 2,000 years, it has been pretty much a prerequisite that the Pope was going to come from where? The three parts. And all of your other popes have come from the three parts. Europe, pretty much just Europe, right? There ain't been no Africans, and there haven't been any, whatchamacallit, any Asians. So they've all been pretty much Europeans. All of a sudden, after the death of Francis, all of a sudden, y'all try to pick some dude that's from America, that's got all of these different ethnicities, showing you that you guys have absolutely nothing, no power anymore, because you guys would pick someone from over there 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So you're confirming what we're saying without saying it, but your actions are confirming it. You know that the Most High has taken away your power. You know that the Most High has turned his face back to his people. You know that. So that's why you're trying to slither your way in somehow. Right? All of a sudden now it's a melting pot. Never been. Never been. Hold on. A couple little articles I wanted to talk about real quick. The first one I want to show you guys. This was from Brother Sly. He sent me this article. Okay? Just to show you that nothing has changed. And if you want to be part of this church and you wanted to say nothing, then you will go down with the church as well. Right, Tony Ray? All of a sudden we exist. The title of this is Catholic Church to Excommunicate Priests for Following New U.S. State Law. It says the Catholic Church has issued a warning to its clergy in Washington State. Any priest who complies with a new law requiring the reporting of child abuse confessions to our authorities will be excommunicated. So if you tell the authorities about any of our priests or anybody raping children, we will excommunicate you. We will excommunicate you if you tell the authorities about anybody having sex with children. Oh, let me see here. This was published May 7th, 2025, updated May 9th, 2025. Pontifical secret still seems to be pretty alive and well, right? The new law, which will take effect on July 27th, 2025, eliminates the long-standing confidentiality of the confessional, forcing Catholic leaders and lawmakers into a highly charged standoff over religious liberty and child protection. However, the Archdiocese of Seattle and several bishops argue that the law not only contravenes church doctrine, but crosses constitutional lines, while supporters maintain it is a crucial step to protect minors from abuse. Newsweek contacted the Archdiocese of Seattle and Washington Governor Bob Ferguson and the 3 Democratic state senators who sponsored the bill for comment via email and online inquiry forms. Why it matters. The issue spotlights the enduring tension between religious freedom and the state's duty to protect children from abuse. So it's religious freedom so we can keep raping your children. That's what the church is saying. It's our religious freedom to rape your children. That's what the Catholic Church is fighting for. Right, Chris G, exactly. So it says, by compelling clergy to breach the confessional seal, Washington joins a small group of states stripping traditional confidentiality protections. The law has triggered a national conversation about the boundaries of church and state, setting a precedent that could have implications for religious practices and privileged communication nationwide. Now, the thing is this, you've had thousands of years to do the right thing. And it's already been shown that you are incapable. It is impossible for you to do the right thing. It is impossible for you to hold your priests, cardinals, bishops, all people in your religion responsible for their actions. So all you want to say is, oh, we're gonna do better. I promise this won't happen again. While for the last few thousand years, you've been doing exactly the same thing all the way until now. And now the new pope that you guys put in there has a horrible history of hiding what the things that priests have been doing to children. So how long do you think that the states should have to wait for you to do the right thing and start turning these people in, which you're not going to do? Because all you're going to do is hide behind pontifical secret. Where then with the pontifical secret, you can also go and tell the victims to shut the hell up. You can tell the people who brought the case to shut the hell up. That is like Psalms 83 to the T. Hey, you came over here, you joined our group. You joined Psalms 83. We let you raise yourself up a little bit in this society, but you can't say anything about what us people in charge do. You can't say anything about what we do. That is what you signed up for. You signed up to give us your children. You signed up to give us your little boys. You signed to give up your little girls. That's what the church is telling you. So don't try to now think that you're going to stand up and fight against the church. You've allowed that to happen. And you states, the church is like, hey, don't you come over here trying to tell us what we're going to do. We gave you power. The church is showing you that they have the power, not the states, not the governments, not the politicians. The church does. Because the church tells you what they're going to give you and what they're not going to give you. And all you people who are still supporting the system, just understand what's about to happen to you. We'll get into that shortly. There's stuff coming for you too. Hold on. I was trying to find that article that Big Levi had. Because in Brother Big Levi's video, he had this says victims group alleges Pope Leo the 14th mishandled sexual abuse cases involving priests in Chicago and Peru. So you can look it up yourself. But they had to pick a guy with some supposed Negro blood in him. So, you know, it is what it is. 6 weeks before American Cardinal Robert Prevost became Pope Leo the 14th, the activist group Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, SNAP, filed a complaint against him 6 weeks ago. Number 6 again. Just 6 weeks ago, he had an abuse investigation set up on him. We got a case put on him. Right, filed a complaint against him along with other church leaders to the Vatican's Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. So this is 6 weeks ago. This dude had a case put on him. But y'all thought he's qualified to be the next pope. Oh, because he's black. That's why. So we can say, oh, hey, look, man, you black people do it too. 6 weeks ago. Hey, check out that article. Thank you, Sister Didia. 6 weeks ago. Sipping some tea, right? Says the group alleged Prevost harmed the vulnerable and caused scandal by mishandling 2 situations in Chicago in 2000 and in Peru in 2022. Woo! These are 22 years apart. So you imagine it hasn't been other stuff going on, but in those 22 years. From 2000 to 2022, no one, maybe just no one else, decided to actually file a complaint, but other stuff was going on. It says involving priests accused of sexual abuse. The group said that as a provincial supervisor in Chicago for the Augustinian Order in 2000, we got about that dude who was a Prevost allowed a priest accused of abusing at least 13 minors. At least 13 minors. Okay? To live at the Augustinian Order's St. Johnstone Friary in Hyde Park, half a block from St. Thomas the Apostle Elementary School. So at least he was, they gave him some access to some more little children. He had at least 13 children that he had, did a little something with. It says the school was never notified. Hold on, I'll just keep going. It says Thomas the Apostle Elementary School, the priest, Father James Ray, had been barred since 1991 for performing parish work. So for 9 years, old boy couldn't work at the parish. Okay? So what the hell is he doing for those 9 years? Okay? Or being alone with minors. So they knew he couldn't be alone with minors. Okay? Restrictions, the Archdiocese of Chicago noted when it asked Prevost to allow Ray to live at the Friary, the complaint said. The school was never notified, said SNAP spokeswoman Sarah Pearson. In 2002, after the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops tightened their policies, Ray was moved from the Priory and removed from public ministry. He was removed from the priesthood in 2012. So it took him 12 years for that. Okay? I want to skip on down. In December 2022, the women filed civil complaints. Hold on. So hold on, let me go back up. In the 1980s and 90s, Prevost served as a parish pastor and diocesan official in Peru. He returned there in 2015, when Pope Francis appointed him as bishop of the diocese in Chiclayo, in northwestern Peru. In April 2022, 3 women filed a complaint to Prevost accusing 2 priests there of sexual abuse beginning in 2007. So sexual abuse for 15 years. Sexual abuse for 15 years, 6 again. Okay? When they were minors, as reported by the Pilar, a Catholic investigative journalistic project. So they were minors back then. So these priests had access to them for 15 years. In December 2022, the women filed civil complaints saying the diocese had failed to act or inform civil authorities about their allegations. But prosecutors closed the case a month later, saying the statute of limitations had expired, according to SNAP's complaint. Oh, so now there's statutes of limitations, huh? That's what they used? Statutes of limitations. The diocese denied the women's allegations, saying the Prevost met with them personally when they filed their initial complaint. The diocese said it suspended one priest after the complaint and that the other was no longer in ministry because of his age and poor health. It says, let's see. It also said it forwarded their complaint to higher ups in Rome, to an office known as the Dicastery for the Doctrine of Faith, but the Dicastery closed the case in August 2023 after the diocese notified it of the dismissal of the civil case. Wow. SNAP's March 25th complaint alleges that Prevost and Bishop had failed to open an investigation, properly inform civil prosecutors, or restrict the priests involved. So you guys can take it's like, but hey, just trust us. We're going to do better. Just trust us. We won't let it happen again. We'll do better. Oh, hold on. Don't be passing those laws. I will kick out any priest that tells any of the authorities about what, they know about other priests doing things or people doing things. So just so you guys understand, you other nations who seem to think that you can just, this has been happening to us and you haven't cared. These are the things that these people had just carte blanche. They could just do whatever they wanted to us so-called Negroes because we were not people. We were considered 3/5 of a man. We were considered chattel slavery, so they could do whatever the hell they want. Just remember, you're guilty too. Guilt by association. Guilt by association. So, just so you understand what's going on, you see how the ports are being cut off, people are being removed, people are being kicked out. I said, that goes with the Bible. Let me see, Micah 4. Let me see here. Hold on. Micah 4, because you're in 8. What you're going to see right now is the cutoff, and you guys who are going to be stuck here, just understand there's new rulership in town. Your churches let you know they're not in charge anymore. When they put a priest in there, a pope in there, who they're trying to say he's black, he's from Chicago, and everything else, I said, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. Micah 4 and 8. All right, actually, we'll start at 6. In that day, saith the Most High, will I assemble her that halteth, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. He's going to gather his people. He has afflicted us. And I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast far off a strong nation. He's making us a strong nation. And the Most High shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth, even forever. We will be in rulership. The Most High is coming. He's going to raise his people up forever. 8. And thou, O tower of the flock, okay, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion, the kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. No, so now why dost thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. And that is what happened to us, but that's what's about to happen to you other nations. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. Okay? There shalt thou be delivered. There the Most High shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. You have been our enemies. We have been under your hands, under your thumbs, and now comes the switch. Now also many nations are gathered against thee. They say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion, which is exactly what has happened. You guys have been looking upon Zion, keeping us down, destroying us. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High. That's why they're all lost. Neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. And that's what he's been doing, gathering us up together. Arise, rise, rise, and thresh, O daughter of Zion. For I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Most High, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. Micah 5 and 8. Okay? Let's start at 7. Micah 5 and 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew, okay, from the Most High, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion amongst the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. Do you not see that you're already getting cut off from the rest of the world? You're being cut off from the three parts. This is why many people are secretly running and leaving. They're not running and leaving because of the economy. They're not running and leaving because of, oh, America has run. They're running away because and getting cut off because they know the Most High is getting ready to return his people. That's the real Leo, J. Exactly. That's the real Leo. Now 10, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. Most High is cutting off people, cutting off your weapons, cutting off everything. See, you hear a theme of being cut off going on right here. This is Micah chapter 5. That was 5 and 10 and 11. Micah 5 and 10 and 11. Micah 5 and 11. And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds. Do you look again? Cut off, cut off, cut off. Why? Because you're in the fourth part. You are on Turtle Island, which has been cut off from the whole world. It is an island. It is a holy place, a holy land that he is cutting the Gentiles off from the other people, from the other lands. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of these, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Now, when you go to Revelation 18, They're talking about these cities that are burning. They're watching these cities burning. And anybody can say, oh, it's got to be nuclear fire. Okay. He's destroying the Babylonian system on our land. The beast system is done. Judgment is here. Your churches have just sold you out. Picking a black dude supposedly from Chicago, trying to be us, trying to be Judah, trying to be the Levites. I mean, I don't know how much more they got to tell you. Your church just never picked anybody from here, but picked supposedly a guy they're going to try to make a black man from Chicago. The show is over. It's over. Great hanging out with everybody. Much love, family. Shalom.